Why use Broly? Well, he has insane DPS and he can also be a crit support on top of having Rupture in his kit. However, he is quite a niche support and his ability can only be used once and he has major anti-synergy. For basic information and passive, Broly is a 3 placement, costs 152,000 to max, but it can be reduced with passive, and final AoE is a cone AoE with full AoE follow-up attack. And his passive, Quick Learner, this passive convert any crit over 100% into crit damage, and every wave you gain 5% crit rate up to 95% crit rate plus 5% from Unbound, that would be 100% crit rate. So every crit also cleanses debuff, plus you start with 50% crit rate on placement but it disappear after the first upgrade. Second passive, Unrestrained Power. Every time this unit crit, it does attack 3, which is a full AoE, and buff its own damage by 50%. It can't stack, but it also applies Rupture when it land attack 3. Third passive, Innocent Rage. When this unit crit, it reduces the cost of the next upgrade by 2% up to 30%. If it land and doesn't crit, follow up with extra attack that buff damage by 50% for 60 seconds. Again, it can't stack. And as for his ability, Wrathful Clash, this ability is a domain, while this ability is active, plus 20% crit rate per wave for all units that by default have Unbound element, meaning Kaguya, Jinmori, Ishigo doesn't work with this domain. And after 7 wave, said units start gaining 10% crit damage per wave, and this ability lasts 15 wave and can only be used once per match. And for Broly best trait, Broly best trait is Monarch. His second best is Deadeye followed by Ethereal. However, I do have to mention for Infinite, I think Deadeye slightly better. However, comparing both, I found that Monarch do more damage during his domain, but without the domain, all max out Deadeye Broly group DPS is higher than Monarch. For short game mode up to 30 wave, Monarch, Deadeye, Ethereal will be the best, and for Infinite, Deadeye, Monarch, Ethereal will be the best. And for his best familiar, Burp is Broly best familiar. Make sure to get high damage and high crit damage on Burp for the best performance. If you don't have Burp, Chili or Corrupted Strange Cat can be good as well. And for his synergy, Broly best synergy come in a form of good Unbound unit that benefit from crit, which currently I would give it to Guts and Aizen. Both of them are very strong and give them 100% crit rate will make them absolutely crazy. Not to mention Aizen, Aura and Guts Bleed do crit as well. As a crit unit, Broly scale very well with attack buff, so any buffer is also great, especially Griffith. However, he has one of the worst anti-synergy in the game, that being with Kaguya and Griffith, because during Broly domain, Kaguya can't use her domain and Griffith cannot use Eye Sacrifice. And another additional note, Jinmori doesn't gain the crit buff from his ability. How to use Broly? Well, this is really depend on the game mode that you're in. If you're in any story mode or 15 wave mode, use your ability as soon as you place Broly and you just keep upgrading Broly. However, if you're in something like Rift, you want to count 15 wave, like 20 you would start on 5, or 30 wave you wanted to start on 15, and on the wave 30 when the strongest boss appear, your Broly will be fully stacked up. However, for Infinite, I do not think Broly is worth using in Infinite because of reliant on his domain to be able to do a lot of damage. Another additional tip I want to give is with his cost reduction passive. You can click below on the upgrade tab bar to upgrade your Broly. That will allow you to upgrade your Broly once but many stage. So make sure you use this to your advantage. You can max him once or you can do it halfway. So in summary, a lot of people thinks Broly is weak given his displayed damage, but those people also forget to take his crit into account. But I do think that Broly with and without his domain has a huge difference. So I personally think that Broly is an absolute unit in wave-based game mode like Rift, Stage or Dungeon. However, he lacked in Infinite, but like I said, he has a major anti-synergy with Kaguya, but Kaguya is also a must-bring support in Infinite. So I conclude that this is just each unit having their own purposes in each game mode. If this video helped you, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below who you want to see next.